All right. There we go. And we should be live. Welcome everybody in the chat to another Work After Hours live chat. Our weekly live chat about all things guns. This week is our... Sorry guys, I gotta get rid of my sound. I'm always super bad at that. This week joining us, we have Builder Shooter. Is our... Sorry guys. We've got Red Dots. And we've got Many Things. Everybody's just holding up things. And
was that a clam? Oh, no, that's ice cream.
Is it ice cream? Oh, now I'm jealous.
No, actually.
So how's everybody doing? We didn't get our standard live chat that we typically do before this, so I really haven't even talked to these guys yet. So how are you guys doing? Surviving on up?
It was a good day. I got my upper for my Walther back with the dot on it. Check my Instagram for that.
Ooh.
Also, the FedEx guy dropped off something very nice.
Oh.
How much did you pay?
Yeah. His 5,000 primers, homie. Small pistol.
Did you have to sell your soul for that?
Nope. Just be really fast on.
Oh, you don't have one anyway.
Yeah, he's a ginger.
Look, how many times I can tell you? I have a soul for every freckle I've got. It's a soul I've stolen, but it's one of mine.
So it wouldn't be a big deal for you to sell a soul for that. You'd just be like, hey, I got like 40 others.
Boom. See, now you're catching up.
Melanoma.
This is genius. So, to everybody in the chat room, how are you guys doing? I hope you're all doing well. We've got, we've got Jay Beal in there. Kathleen is as always. We've got, Professor's in the house. Michael is in the house. Pinger's in there. How's it going, everybody? I do want to remind you guys once again that this is our last week for the live chat to be on the main channel here. From now on, it will be over on Work the Trigger Overtime. There is a link in the description below the video on the main page for that page. If you want to hop over there, subscribe to that. Really, the only things that are going to be going up over there are live streams and like tutorials and stuff. So it's going to get not like the normal traffic that the main page does, but the goal is just to get the live streams off of that, but still do them because these are fun and I really like hanging out with y'all. So, plus I need the subs on that to get up to 100 so that I can make my custom URL, because otherwise it's just some nonsensical number. So hurry up, head over there, subscribe. All right. And with that, let's see. I don't know if there's anything else really going on. Reload Rap is in the house. How's it going, man? I
need to buy one.
Say what?
I still need to buy one of those.
You do. Everybody needs one of those. All right. It is time for the gun news of the night. All right. Our first up piece of gun news is California. One of the courts in California has deemed high-capacity magazine ban is indeed unconstitutional. There's a lot of guesstimating about this and just people speculating what's going to happen with that. What do you? And actually, I have an interesting segue to another news article that I was just informed about earlier today. But what do you guys think about California? Their courts finally deeming the high-capacity magazine ban unconstitutional.
Well, to be specific, it was the Ninth Circuit. Not necessarily California court.
Okay.
Secondly, they can still call for an en-banc. Lastly, the AG still hasn't reversed his decision, so it's still illegal. They can't sell them in the state yet. So I'm going to believe it when I see it. Unfortunately, I've seen them stop some stupid things too many times. Just go, oh, yeah, it's over. It's like, nah. Wait for them to pass on the en-banc, make the AG change his decision, get the law banished off the books, and then I'll believe it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a ruling is nice, but don't buy one yet if you're out there.
Just have your friend buy them and then have them ship them to you later.
I think it's funny that people are just absolutely ragging on Gun Mag Warehouse, and Gun Mag Warehouse is like, it's illegal for me to send this to you right now. I am not going to break the law for you.
Yeah.
you live in the wrong area for me
Right.
to send this.
Chose to live in that state. It's not
This
like these
is not
magazine
my
bans were
fault.
new. Yeah, and attached to that is PSA apparently. So when that magazine ban thing happened, a bunch of people went out to try to buy the high capacity magazines, and PSA apparently accidentally CC'd every single person that ordered a high capacity magazine, like at that time, when they send out the email saying, "Hey, we can't ship these to you yet; it's illegal." They didn't BCC everybody; they just carbon copied everybody. So now
Oh, so
over
it's literally
400,
every single person's
Yep.
emails. Oh,
yeah, over 400 people who tried to order high capacity magazines now have the other 400 people's email addresses. I heard it was around 400.
Oh man.
Yeah, that is a big whoops. I hope
That guy
they can
got
recover.
fired.
Right.
strong talking to.
Yeah, no, he may have gotten fired for that, unless it was like the CEO of the company. Then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna let myself out.
That was his job for the month. Like, dang it!
You had one job, man. One job.
My intern had COVID.
I think Peter's right. They're gonna draw it out and get right back to banning them again.
I was gonna say, didn't they like instantly hit it with a stay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what they're gonna do. I mean, obviously they can't have that go through because that would go against everything that the lawyers there, believe in. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Kathleen says all those emails she could send them some of her naked pictures. I'm sorry, you should have just said naked pictures because that would have just icing on the cake there. But
Those are called nudes.
Whoa!
That's Manny. That is too proper. All right, that's not going there. Kathleen is a classy lady, my friend. Okay, and with that, let's go ahead and go to the next news article. Okay. Hey, who put in the third one? Because I don't think I put that one in there. Did I?
That was me.
Okay, that was you. I'm going to let you segue that one. But first, we're going to talk about the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. Oh, Reds, knock that off.
I'll go get
Oh, so I called Dylan. This is 100% off topic from the news article. I called Dylan to see about dyes for my 550. Yeah, they're 2 months out.
That's
So-
not
I
So,
waited
Reds, I
4
gotta-
months
Yes.
for a fucking case feeder. Don't talk to me about no 2 months.
He said,
Although
Bob
Bob was
on
great.
live
Manny,
cast.
That's a sore
I-
subject.
if I'm shooting, like I was shooting about 750 rounds a month before all this crap, or more, 750 to 1,000, and I'm going to be. We have a thing coming up. Dang it!
I know.
That just
Yeah.
reminds me of how
I was
much
trying to
ammo
figure
I
out
need.
who's
Oh, it's me.
who's doing the ammo for that.
Yeah, it's me. I'm gonna have to go out and specifically procure ammo for that one day. So that's gonna be great. Anyway, so back to the news. The at the DNC officially nominated were Joe Biden and how do you say her name? Camilla.
Kamala Harris.
You spelled it with an I instead of an A.
Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
Is it Kamala? Okay, cool. Harris, who's like super pro police state and anti-firearms, which is
She's pro throw your ass in jail.
yeah. So some of the things that she has listed. Well, let's go over the Biden campaign's official stance on some things anyway. So his official stance on some things are banning so-called assault weapons, banning magazines that hold more than 10 rounds, requiring legally owned semi-automatic firearms and magazines to be registered like machine guns with the federal government under the NFA, enacting a 1 gun per month purchase restriction, and ending all online sales of firearms, ammunition, kits, and gun parts. So that's what Biden wants to do. On top of all of that, Kamala, whatever, which is really funny because
Just say Harris.
he actually said her name wrong twice.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway,
though?
so she wants. I'm surprised he even got the K right. So she wants to repeal so-called racist stand your ground laws. She wants mandated universal background checks, which Joe's stuff would do anyway. Also wants to ban assault weapons. I'll bet her definition is different than his since they don't exist. Repealing the federal law that shields American gun manufacturers from predatory lawsuits and requires individuals who sell more than 5 guns per year to effectively act as licensed dealers. So
you had it on here earlier.
What did I have?
Maybe you didn't, but she wants to ban the importation of all AR-15s.
I did see that. I remember
That being said, there is one company that I know of that imports AR-15s.
Yep.
And that's FN. And that would take out like 1/8% of the market.
Yeah, I was going to say FN, like the civilian market. FN doesn't even have a foothold in the civilian market on ARs. So,
They make a good rifle, though.
Oh,
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
I wouldn't say anything bad about it. They're great guns. But.
Yeah, it's just, I tell you, it's kind of a crap fest. Honestly, that in itself is enough reason to not vote for them. Like if there's any left wingers who are pro gun, you can't vote for them. You have to vote libertarian at the least.
I'll just write in Hillary Clinton.
No. Can you play the music, please?
So it's so sad that Manny Things isn't on the chat anymore.
I didn't say anything about the TFX Pros, though.
Yeah. So
that happened to me last time. I'd love to make that mistake again.
Are the FNs made in South Carolina? Harry says he thinks they're made in South Carolina.
I know there are plants down there.
There are some that are actually made in Europe. They're part of the NATO contract.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they are, where they're all made. They're really the only FNAR-15s are made in South Carolina, says Professor. And his name is Professor, so obviously he's right.
Yep. I got to put Kathleen in a timeout.
Yeah, if I could do to her what I just did to Manny, I would, but...
But I got to come back, though.
You did get to come back. You weren't even gone that long. Uh-oh. I think Reload Rep just read that one. So anyway, yeah, it terrifies me, honestly. Like, if they have... Yeah, that's very worrisome, especially the like 1 gun per month, ending all firearm ammunition kits and gun part sales online. Like, what? That is an entire multi-billion-dollar industry that you want to wipe out overnight.
You can get a complete AR-15 parts kit from Wish.com.
Yeah, that's true.
Does it have a Geisley in it, though?
No.
It's got a Heisley.
All right. It's better.
With
Geysery.
With the patent pending Heisley.
Okay, play the music.
Further in the alphabet, so it's better.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Play the music.
further in the alphabet, so it's better.
All right. We got one more article of news this week. And since I didn't read it and just saw it right now as I was reading through it, we're going to let Manny Things go over this one. Manny, what the hell's going on with this?
Well, Magpul last week, I believe on Friday, released a new product in their DACA line. That is what did they call it? The Takeout. It's like a 3.5 liter bag that holds all your crap. It's like
isn't that the program that allows immigrant children to like go to school or something? DACA?
Maybe. I mean, that's what maybe.
Actually,
I don't know.
Anyway, it's a backpack.
No, it's like a bag. It's like
it's a carry-on.
Well, it's kind of like looks like a loaf of bread, like the size of a loaf of bread. Holds all your stuff. But for those,
like a sling pack.
No, handheld bag.
Fanny pack.
Oh, open the link.
Handheld bag.
Open the link.
Just open the link.
Bag.
It's a bag with a zipper on it.
this is way more fun to try to just figure out why is it not just
It's like a canvas pouch.
Well, it's
With
not
a-
canvas. It's
Oh, it's like an overnight bag that you would take to a hotel with you.
Play the music.
yep.
No, because we have to dissect this damn thing. This thing is $30 and it's a glorified freaking
No, there's no-
toiletries bag.
Kathleen, it's not a man purse. There's no.
No,
strap
there's
or
no way to
anything.
hold it. It's literally a toiletries bag. It's a
Maybe
very
it's-
large.
Manny's really regretting putting this on there at this point.
No, because
no.
Magpool keeps me in business, so I will promote their products. Thank
Is
you
it
for
made
paying
of
my
rubber
salary.
and stuff?
Yeah, it's like a TPU, like a soft. You ever held a
Put your
DACA
toilet paper
pouch?
in there?
Have I held a what?
A DACA pouch, the
No,
Magpool.
you keep making this word up.
It's not when it's on their
Oh, it's
website.
got a waterproof zipper. That's nice.
Special pouch. It's their special pants pouch.
No, of course I don't have their special pants pouch. I'm not a Richie McRicherson who just buys random Magpul stuff.
By Magpool.
Use them like
or
rockets.
5,000 primers.
It's gonna be really funny when the bottom of that box opens and they dump all
Dump
over.
all over him. Oh, I'm hitting stuff on the desk. See, even John Jeffries thought it was a Merce. Okay, guys. All right, here. Let me show you guys what the frack we're looking at here, so that what I'm saying makes way more sense.
Is it available in olive drab?
Um, Yes, flag
No.
FE. So no
FE and
olive
black.
drab. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. It is literally a toilet. It's a very large toiletries bag.
They paid somebody to take pictures of that.
They paid somebody to design that. Why didn't they could have just gone to Target and been like, hey, this would work, and then like gotten a thing hot that says Magpul on it, stamped that on, and been like, I made that. It's like the dude
Let's
that's
just
lower
die
and
over
upper and
the
puts it
frilly
together, and
flowers
it's
and
like,
we're good.
I made this. That's Kathleen's like, that's a Merce.
No, she hasn't seen the good picture. Go scroll up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I selecting my
good.
pictures too? Is it this one? Is this the one you want?
Yeah, that one's fine.
What
I told
the-
you it
what
looks
the
like a
heck?
loaf of bread.
What's the point of the thingies on the side?
To
To
keep
retain
it
it.
compact. Yeah.
Why don't you just make that the shape of the thing?
Why are we talking about this?
Because
it's
it holds
new
a mag.
and it's a mag pull. It,
Just
it,
because that's all you can
it
find.
holds one magazine. One.
it better come with one magazine
At
for
least-
that price.
At least it's one of theirs. I was fully expecting it to not be one of theirs. Pull like an H&K, just have the bullets backwards in it too.
Yes.
It does, as I said, it does have what looks to be a waterproof zipper, so that's nice-ish. But that's still, I don't know, for $30, I don't know. I'm not buying one. Are you buying one? Who's buying one? Raise your hand if you buy, or if you're buying one.
Manny is.
Manny's buying one.
Already have one.
Red's
already on the way.
Buying two.
Red, you can put
No.
your primers in it.
No. This is King's X.
That was two. That was two. You're buying two.
You can put your primers in it.
Thank you, Harry. They are. And it's made
Wait,
in America.
what did he say?
DACA stuff is awesome.
No.
Yeah.
It's water resistant. I told you it had a waterproof zipper. I'm just saying.
Thanks, Reload Rap.
Can I get one at the steep discount of free? No, I'm just kidding.
350 maybe, or oh, let's see. What's this about USPSA? Red Dots countdown to USPSA national status. When's your next video dropping?
I'm trying to make sure they drop on Sundays. It doesn't always happen, but I do actually have a counter on my phone, and there is 58 days left until USPSA factory nationals.
So are you B&Bing with are you Airbnb-ing with Humble?
Yeah, he, myself, another guy who's he better make GM by the time we get down there. I'll be mad.
The other guy?
Yeah, there's two other guys with us. One of them is a buddy of mine. He shoots mostly down in San Antonio, but he's a really high level M. He had a kind of wrecked match here locally, like a major.
Mm-hmm.
Max Michel was there, and when he had a wrecked match, he was like at like 90% of Max Michel.
Holy crap!
Yeah, so it was one of those like the guy's good, and he when I checked his percentages, he's like 93% in CO. Like he's damn near making GM. So I'm hoping he makes GM by the time we get there.
Fingers crossed.
There are 66 masters registered in carry optics for nationals this year. 66.
Jeez.
Well, Humble can't sandbag anymore because he finally made master.
You can't sandbag it in nationals. Period. There are too many other, like, I don't care how good of a sandbagger you think you are. Like whatever division you're in, there's some guy there that's 3 divisions ahead of where he should be. You know, like
Right.
I mean, Don't ever try to sandbag a national. You will get out sandbagged every time.
You just
I
got to
don't
make
see myself
sure
ever going to nationals. So
you just got to make sure that you beat him by 5 points or 5%, like Range Panda beat Bangin' Brass.
That was funny.
Did you listen to that podcast though?
No, I
Panda?
just saw the stuff on Instagram.
Oh, if you listen to the Perfect Double podcast, at least watch that 1-2 hour episode. You will laugh the whole time because they bring it up every 5 minutes. I still beat you, didn't I? And
Yeah,
Panda is a
bro.
oh, that's
beating
true.
is beating.
But Panda is a chubby Asian man, and it's just hilarious. Moving on.
Yep.
Need the music
I want to
button.
ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
All right. It is time for questions. So now to our new question sound.
Permission to ask a question, sir?
Permission granted, Boric, as long as it isn't the one about where babies come from.
Is
All
that Monty
right.
Python?
It was that troop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let's get to. Oh man, I totally forgot we had a gun game that we're going to play too. Let's get to
Yeah.
the questions first. The gun game will be fun, but let's get to questions first. Okay. I'm just going to grab a question from kind of each of us, and we'll go from there. So first up is a question from this guy right here.
Mhm.
With so many attempts to develop new long gun calibers, I don't know if you guys have been like listening. Like in the last year, there's been like 3 different 6mm. There's been 224 Valkyrie. There's this 6mm ARC that just came out. Massive crap ton of long gun calibers. Why has handgun caliber development become so stagnant? Is it just that we're like the 9mm, everybody's good enough? Or is there nowhere else to go? What do you guys think?
I'll jump into that. I mean, rifles have always been sort of one of those things where it's easier to make a bolt gun where you can start building up wildcat rounds. So it's a heck of a lot easier to come up with a new round and say like, okay, here's this weird chamber. Somebody go mill this. Like we'll make a couple of bolt guns and see if it works.
Mhm.
With pistols, especially semi-automatic ones, it's a lot more R&D and time to make them function. And people are pretty stagnant about what they want or what they're willing to buy. So, I mean, pretty much aside from a few exceptions, everybody's using, the Browning, setup for their semi-automatic pistols. And so it's one of those, like, we already kind of covered the gamut with what's available. So developing a new case doesn't suddenly make everything better. The few times they've done it, they've been things like 45 gap or 357 SIG. And they've all turned into, pretty much just noise in the background, and everybody's settled into what's already there. Because ballistically, there's just not a lot of difference,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of advantage.
I mean, that kind of falls the same with rifles too. It's just you hear about more successes with rifles because there's just more attempts. I mean, for every 6mm ARC, there's a 224 Valkyrie. There's a 357 Reaper. There's all of these calibers that just are. They didn't make it. I mean, shoot, the Blackout for a long time was borderline there.
There's
So
just a lot more flexibility in rifles as far as what people use rifles for. Not saying that people don't hunt with pistols or people don't, do various things with pistols, but rifles, I mean, there's just such variety. There's the 350 Legend that came out not too long ago.
Mhm.
It was specifically designed for straight wall states, for hunting. And I mean, pistol rounds, it's a pistol round. It's going to be straight wall. I mean, it is what it is. There's not much variation in that.
he says, having just said like 3 days ago that he should have gotten a 357 SIG gun.
Oh, Red said 357 SIG kind of went by the wayside, and I agree it did. And I'm very much disappointed in that. I like 357 SIG and I like 10mm.
Mhm.
357 SIG has a boatload of ammo in a little bitty package, but it's not popular. It's more expensive than everything else, except for
Well, and
It's
inherently
more expensive because it's not popular, though. That's
Well, but
the
if-
reason.
necking a pistol case and then having to deal with the action in a Browning action pistol
Mhm.
is a pain in the backside. So it's going to be more inherently likely to have problems. Just part of the reason why people tend to stick to straight wall pistol cases and semi-automatic guns. So necking down a cartridge is always inherently a problem. I mean, think about like what happened with Luger, right? That was the whole thing when they first popped out. They were running 30 Luger, and they ended up going, well, what happens if we just blow the neck out of the 30 Luger and just do a full neck? Like, welcome to 9mm, folks.
Mhm.
Same kind of thing. So there's some issues there happening with necking and spacing. It's a lot easier to do with a straight wall design.
Bless you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a dad, and that's how we sneeze. Ain't no holding it back. All right.
Permission to ask a question, sir?
Permission granted, Boric, as long as it isn't the one about where babies come from.
No questions about babies. Next up from Builder Shooter, he says, if a new division was added to USPSA, what should it be? I'm going to, Red, let's have you go last. Because you're kind of the USPSA competition guy of the group, so
Sure.
I want to see how ours fall before we hear from you. Builder, you said it, so what's your option?
I think it would be cool, and I don't know exactly how to even word it, but it would be like open minor or carry optics major or something, mixing carry optics and open, basically allowing single action guns with optic or slide mounted optics to compete in something other than open class. People are carrying single action guns again. Single action onlys. They're carrying STIs, they're carrying stuff like that. Not as commonly, but a carry STI isn't going to compete with an open gun. So is there a class for that? Would it be popular? I don't know. But I don't know. That would be pretty sweet for me, in my opinion, even though I don't have one of those.
Okay. Manny?
Well, I would say you could go play an IDPA and their carry optics because you could have a single action only gun. And Mike Seaclander, he loves doing that crap. See, Red, I'm helping you out there, buddy. I mean, I'm not gonna play IDPA, but I know some things. But I don't know. I'd actually take away a division or merge divisions before adding a new one. See, I got all the good ideas. I would either make L10 needs to fit into production or something, figure it, mold it, change it.
Combining those would be a very good combination.
Mm-hmm. And you could modify, something, but Revo can stay because everyone likes a Revo shooter, even though no one plays in it. Hey, we got to let the FUDs play too. If they want to play with their Jerry Michelet guns, they can
I've
play
had my
too.
ass kicked by a revolver shooter before.
Did he reload faster than you?
Yes. He moved faster than me. He was skinnier than me. He was younger than me. I wanted to kick him in his pretty face.
When you watch a good revolver shooter, it is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch a good one. When you watch a not so good one, it just pisses you off because it takes twice as long as that particular person should take to run it, and it makes you run behind.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that comes to our local matches, and he shoots a 686, and he's got a 7-inch barrel on it. And he comes out and he shoots a double action only the whole time, and his times are not good. He doesn't place well because of that. But I'm sitting here telling you, you can score his targets standing wherever you're standing because every single one of them's an alpha.
Yep.
I mean, I've scored an entire match of his, and he had one Charlie.
Yeah, he was impressive.
And they're touching alphas.
So mine with this, I don't know if I'd add a new one, but I would definitely. I think production class is currently completely out of line of where it should be. They have changed it far too much from what it was kind of meant to be. So I would maybe break out a piece of that and maybe take production back to where it's supposed to be, but with 15 round mags, and then have a limited 15 round mag group instead of limited 10 and that kind of crap. But that's
or make that limited minor, and if you want to shoot limited major, you can shoot limited major.
Yeah, something like that. But I just think that the limited, I never remember what they're freaking called. Reds, what are each one of those called? Limited carry optics.
Divisions.
Divisions.
That's it. Thank you. I think the production division is just not what it's supposed to be. So, Red. All right, now let's hear from the actual guy who knows things.
I just
I
talked.
shoot and I know things. That's what I do.
What was it? I drink bourbon and I
don't
hate people.
speak them, but I know them.
Yeah. Well, I would say that I'm actually completely, as a CO guy, like hardcore, I am 100% okay with the idea of allowing slide-mounted, hammer-fired pistols into CO. Just being like, yeah, that's fine too.
Mhm.
What I'm not okay is adding in like the limited stuff where they have mag wells. If nobody else is getting it, they shouldn't have it. No comp, because that is open. So yeah, I mean, as long as otherwise they're following the rules, I don't see any difference. And it's just like IDPA. I mean, it's not like the guys, I hate to say it, but the guys who have those that are playing with them aren't suddenly dominating the guys who are running Glocks. It's not a game changer. If that's what you like, that's what you like, and that's what you run. But guns have gotten good enough that there's not a realistic advantage with that single action only trigger anymore. That may have been true 20 years ago, but it's not really the case anymore. I would also say that I would be, for me, I always talked about like they should get rid of a division. And I think what they should do is take Revo and single stack and call it classic and shove them together. And the biggest reason for that is that if you do single stack, they can still do major minor. Revo can still do major minor. And there's a couple of different advantages. Like basically keep the rule sets the same, but put them together because there's so few participants. It doesn't make sense to have a lot more than that. Dump L10 altogether. There's no reason L10 should even exist.
Yep.
You live somewhere with the 10-round magazine limit, then you shoot with 10 rounds like they do in Canada, where they have open guys shooting with 10-round magazines, which just hurts my soul every time I see it.
Got a big stick with only 10 rounds in it.
Well, and now, so
no big stick. Like they can't have over 10-round magazines. It's Canada. Like that's
so they can't even have a 170 mil body.
Not that I've seen actually. I've seen a bunch of those guys. They run base pads, but they have the magazines that have like the fins on the inside that limit the capacity. It's ugly.
So what's the major difference now between production and limited 10? You can have a single action only and limited 10, right?
Single action only, magwells.
Position of your holster.
Sight blocks.
Yeah, race holsters.
Okay.
So and those do make a functional difference.
So and that was kind of my point with production is they've changed production so much that you're damn near running a limited gun anymore. Like with the amount of internal stuff that you can actually do to a production gun now.
Well, you still can't run single action as far as that. You can get them really close. But the thing is,
if you were running a non-single action limited gun, the only thing you really need is the magwell and your holster placement.
The holster placement, magazine placement.
Right.
Both of those matter quite a bit, actually. But as far as, versus limited or limited 10, limited, you're talking about having major power factor and a bunch of other stuff. So it's still different than limited.
I'm talking specifically limited 10.
Limited 10 shouldn't exist. Like that should be gone and done with.
Open guys with 10 rounds. Oh.
Think about all the money you've spent to shoot 10 rounds at once.
Really fast.
Hey, there's some more news because I totally forgot this one, but Kathleen brought it up for us. Let me go up a little bit to where her question was, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, so she says, do you think Trigicon is going to mess up Hollerson as far as getting their product out there? All right, so I was tempted this week by the dark side. I almost bought myself a Hollerson 507K, and I texted Builder to help me feel good about the purchase, and he sent he shot me down. He sent me thus. This is an email. Where did you get this?
It was sent by somebody.
Okay. This was sent by somebody. So this says, Hollerson just announced beginning in September, so that's next month, many models will be updated to a new model with different button locations. We're starting to kind of see where the Trigicon lawsuit's coming in. For all pre-orders, Hollerson is trying to fulfill all outstanding orders. However, if they are not able to fulfill these orders, your order will be swapped to the new model unless you request a cancellation. Please see below for your projected model shipment date provided by Hollerson. So essentially, I think when Hollerson updated to their V2 with the larger buttons on the side of the hood, that's when Trigicon started being like, you're getting a little close there, guys. So Hollerson's going to have to go back and modify their button location.
But your original button location wasn't terrible. It's
They
not
were
like
just
you're
small.
using the buttons all the time anyway.
They were just small. If
Right.
they made them a little bit bigger, that button location would be fine, which is probably what they're going to end up doing. But the reason I didn't get the 507K is because I got to do a review on this thing, and I need that review to last more than like a 4-month shipment window that they sent out the original versions in. So it is messing them up. It is going to delay shipment. That's why we haven't seen any of the 508s. That's why we haven't seen more of the 507s, the 50 or the 407s, the K versions, is because they have gone back to the drawing board to move the button to where they need to move the button to satisfy Trigicon rather than probably paying Trigicon. Trigicon is not dumb. They probably came to him with a settlement already in there saying, hey, you can either pay us for the lawsuit or you can switch your button placement and get a little bit further away from what our design is. So, which is a good move by Trigicon. It removes them from being 100% douchebag to just protecting intellectual property. Like, because they, if they had just gone after him and been like, you're undercutting us a little too much, let's just cut that out. But giving him an option, especially an option that wasn't going to completely lay it to the customer base, was a good move, if that's what happened.
I can see them doing that because, like, this is just my little brain, especially with the 508 V2 with the square hood. Now you have an optic that uses an RMR footprint that has the RMR style buttons on the side of it, that has a square hood that's very, very, very similar to an RMR. Not the same, but very similar. And you're dropping it at least a little bit lower price than even the base model Type 1 RMRs. Then I would be upset about that.
Yeah, and in that case, I can understand where Trigicon's coming from. I just thought it was a dick move because it sounded a whole lot like they were just going to cut off the flow and basically halt importation. But if they gave them a couple options, I'm all right with that.
I'm telling you, man, that's not what it was about. It's an IP thing. If you don't actively protect your IP, they can strip it from you.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things, like if you can demonstrate they haven't done a good job protecting IP, then when they go to protect it at some other point, they can say, you never did it in these other cases, so we're not going to start doing it now. And so my guess is that Trigicon, if you read the patent, the one that they argued over, that they said they infringed on, is so broad. It's painfully broad.
Right.
It basically defines every slide-mounted red dot that ever existed, period.
It's weird because typically speaking, when you apply for a patent, so a patent pending, I don't know how many people know this, a patent pending is actually, it's intellectually stronger than an actual granted patent. A patent pending is what patents an idea, a concept, and then when you actually get the patent, they're real dicks about making you focus in on the specific stuff that you're actually patenting.
Yeah.
So it surprises me that they let that patent through when it was so broad.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, but I read the damn patent. Like that was the whole thing. Like when this whole thing popped, I read the lawsuit and I read the language in the lawsuit and I went and I pulled the patent and I looked at the patent. I'm staring at this thing going, holy mother of God, this describes literally every red dot that's ever existed. And I think part of this is that my guess is that most of the other commercial guys that are manufacturing are paying Trigicon some small fee in order to continue producing them. And Trigicon's happy with that because they've got the government contracts and they do that whole thing.
Yep. Hey, really quick.
There's still people that are going to buy RMRs. Like RMRs are good optics.
Yeah.
They're quality optics.
There's optics that I recommend for carry. Hollison and RMRs.
Yeah. And I think
really quick, I need to throw a shout out to Hoosier Hammer. Thank you very much, man, for the super chat. Appreciate it greatly. By the way, where in Indiana are you located? Write that down. All right, Reds, go.
You're good, man. But yeah, so it's one of those things that they really were just working on protecting the patent. And I think they went to Hollison and said, hey, okay, guys, you're at this point, you either need to pay us our due or, you need to stop building stuff that's, patent infringement. And I think that's really what it's gotten down to is that they said, okay, we're going to differentiate ourselves this way and we're going to pay you whatever your small fee is. And just down the road, down the road they're going to go. And that's Trigicon actively defending their patent. So that's what they need to do. They're not shutting people out of the market because they don't want to do that, because that actually hurts them. Interestingly enough, if you have a competitive market, it's actually better for you too, even if you've got different tiers. Because reality is, the person there's not going to be a lot of people that are actually going to actively cross shop between a Holosun and a Trigicon. If you're really looking at that market specifically. No, you're not. You're going to say, okay, is the price more important to me, or is the quality more important to me? And that's what you're going to decide on. And that's you're going to split the market that way. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's actually good. It's good strategy. It creates a more diverse market that invites more people in. You start saying, people say like, oh, all it's available is Trigicons and those dots are too expensive, I'm going to stick to irons. You kind of half kill the market.
Mm-hmm.
A viable option that's good entry level price, you get a lot more people into the market.
So I do want to point. So you had said that they may have gone to other dot companies and said, hey, like, pay us a little bit of a due. I have a feeling it might be a little bit closer to what we were talking about, the design concept of what Trigicon has created. The RMR is a very usable. I just slipped on my own damn desk chair. The RMR is a very usable site. It's a user-friendly site. The buttons are big. They're easy to get to. The only really downside is the battery placement, which, I mean, shoot, you'll get over that. But so I have a feeling that maybe it was either you pay us or you stay away from our general design. Like if you keep far enough away from our tried and true design that we've got of the RMR and probably the SRO now, then you guys are fine. But Holosun pushed too far and approached too close to that design with the big button on the side of the hood, with the squared off instead of the funky rounded. I think they just got too close. They flew too close to the damn sun, Icarus.
Maybe that's the thing that triggered it. That they said that was a threshold for it. But I'm still telling you, man. Like, you read that, go. I think I linked you the patent at some point.
You did. That requires me to go read.
If you could look at that thing, bro. Like, it's not that it's like, well, here's our shape and where our button placement is. It talks about that there's an adjustable emitter aimed at a window. Like, it's super freaking broad.
Yeah.
And it's just like every red dot that's ever existed would get covered by this patent.
Yeah. And I'm going to kind of side with Harry on this too, that I disagree about the cross shopping. I owned an RMR. I sold it for a Holosun because I just like the use of the Holosun better. It wasn't even like anymore. It's, do you want to be able to drop it from 10 feet or do you want to be able to drop it from 5 between the two of those?
You want to know what the difference is for me as far as carry?
Go for it.
They don't have a reticle I like.
Oh, because you like the big reticle.
Yeah, I just want a big fat dot.
I'll tell you, the Ks have a 6 MOA reticle.
I haven't seen what I just messed with on this weekend was one of those ones that's got the 8 MOA circle.
Yeah,
I don't like it either.
That's the one that Humble swears by. But yeah, the 407K has a 6 MOA dot on it. So check that one out. But it's a thinner one. So that's going to be like going on a 360. I actually want 2 of those, one for my SPO1 and one for my PO1, since they've got those thin slides. I think that's like the perfect one for that. And if I can pull that off, I want that on my SPO1 so bad so I can run my SPO1 and carry optics.
And like I told Harry in the chat there, the 508T V2, which I've talked about a lot now, and the RMR, in my opinion, I don't think the RMR has any higher quality than the 508T. I think the 508T is about the highest end you can go, except for the almighty 509 that nobody else likes except me.
That's true.
But I would rather have a 508 if for no other reason than I can use a green reticle, and I've been using a green reticle, and I like the green reticle better. And Trigicon doesn't offer one, which is fine. I'm probably the only person in the world that likes green, but I'd rather go Holosun in that case.
They still offer green reticles, but it's in the dual illuminated models of the RMR.
You're right, they do. The really expensive ones.
Yeah, but no, I like the 509. Well, the 509 is the closed emitter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I like it for those duty applications or those combat applications. I mean, I don't have a need as a concealed carrier or in competition to have a closed emitter.
It needs to be on one of my guns.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't mind a 509 and say it was on duty.
I think it's going to go on Glock 45.
I do agree with Harry. He says the V2 battery tray is a huge selling point. And it is for a lot of people, with which oddly enough, you're getting a battery tray where you can replace the battery in a dot with an 8-year battery life. So they not only made the battery easier to replace than probably a good 75% of, we'll go like 66%, like 2/3 of other dots. And yet the battery life is, 4 to 5 times what the other dots are. So I always thought that was kind of funny.
I bitch about the battery tray stuff. I don't like the battery being under the optic. I mean, that's why I bought a Vortex Venom to start with, because it was a top-mounted battery.
Just gave Red a stroke.
Do what?
You just gave Red a stroke.
I'm sorry. I had to start somewhere. I don't have more.
Hollison didn't exist. They didn't import their dots at the time. So,
but I want to have my optic mounted to my gun, and I don't want it to come back off. Period. So if I can do that and not have to take it off to change my battery, I'm going to do that. That's a mighty tall.
And as I said, in use, I like the Hollison a little better. It's got a little bit bigger window. And honestly, that's about it. Like the RMR window is just a little bit smaller, and I like the little bit bigger window.
I mean, it's not like we're comparing it's not like the 508 versus the RMR is comparing the 509 to the Acro, where the 509 is just better. Like across the board, it's better. The 508 isn't necessarily better than the RMR.
Red, I need one of those bad.
I need that.
No. Does the SRO, do you actually have to use a screwdriver or what to hold down the battery?
Actually, I think I can get away with doing this. Hang on. Yep, I can get away with doing that. There we go. It's just basically this crosshatch thing, and it's fat.
Okay. So just like a Vortex Venom.
You should be able to get away with using a coin or something. The problem is it's aluminum, so I've scratched both of mine getting them off. The seal that they use on them is waterproofed, so it's super tight. There's like an O-ring on it, so you got to get it off. But
the Hollison does also. It's got an O-ring on the door that it uses, and you do have to watch out for that because you will pinch that O-ring if you're not careful. So really quick, while we are kind of at an in-betweens of stuff, I want to remind everybody this is our last week on the chat on the main channel. In the link in the description down below this, you're going to find a link to our B channel. That's Work the Trigger Overtime. Reds, I'll get to that in a second. And all of our live chats are going to be over on that channel from now on. So go ahead and head over there, subscribe over there so that you can get our notifications that the new live chats are up and coming over there. And that's just where they're going to be. So, yeah. And the reason that I went overtime is, what was the other one?
Makeup shots?
Makeup shots, that's it. The reason is because when I eventually get a shorter YouTube direct address, I can go WTT overtime instead of WTT makeup shot and try to do some stuff in between. So
I still liked break room.
Yeah, I wanted it to be.
But you're wrong.
Less.
Damn, Boulder.
I liked overtime. And I think
it's not
we're
bad.
in the chat now because it is overtime. All right. Do we want another question or do we want to pop up to the game for a little?
Let's do the game before I fall
All
asleep.
right. I do not have a game sound.
Wah, wah.
That.
So Red, where can I get one of those Kita's hats?
I actually won this.
It came with his primers. Ha!
I won this during your class. I'm trying to remember what drill it was that I won. I ran some drill and won it, and I got the hat.
It's a Makita. Oh, no, not that kind of drill.
No.
All right, let's get over to our game for tonight. So our game is we've done this game in a method before, but we're going to do it again because it ends up being really fun. This game is, we don't have a name for this game. Hey, Builder, name guy.
It's after 10.
It is after 10. Is that the name of the game?
It's
It's after 10. Okay, So in this game, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to give you guys a car, a type of car, and you guys are going to give me the type of gun that said owner of that car has, like carries on him. Actually, or if the owner of the car doesn't carry it on him and it just keeps it in the glove box, whatever that gun is. But you have to specify that it's kept in the glove box and not on the driver. All right. Are the rules clear?
Yep.
All right. And everybody in the chat, play along because this is pretty fun.
Yes, please do. We enjoy this.
All right. First up, we've got a white 90s Chevy van, full size with no windows.
We call those creeper vans, by the way.
They are creeper fans. Yes. I was trying to be a little bit more subtle about it.
No.
Thanks, Manny.
Creeper vans.
Oh, wait. It's a different one. That's a two-parter?
No, there's two different vans.
There's two different vans.
Oh, I thought it was one van. I had a really
No. It's two vans. So this one is no windows. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I've got a Mossberg 500, and that is sitting shotgun in this man's van.
Hardy. That was that, yeah.
With his big old bag of candy in the back.
Reds, you going next?
I have something close.
Okay.
Sitting, it's buried somewhere where they can get to it is a sawed-off Remington 870, but specifically it's beat up and has wood furniture. In that van, it would have to have the wood furniture.
Oh, absolutely.
So, sawed-off Remington 870 with wood furniture.
All right. Builder?
I'm going off a very rash assumption that this person probably cannot own firearms.
That's a pretty good assumption. You also shouldn't be within 1,000 feet of a school.
I'm going to give a two-part answer. The first part will be an X26 taser. The second part would be a bottle and rag of chloroform.
Okay,
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm gonna go off of Reds a little bit here. So not only is it a sawed off, what'd you say, 870? Sawed off 870?
870 with wood furniture.
Okay. It also has the stock sawed off and wrapped in electrical tape.
Mm-hmm.
And then remounted as a pistol grip?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly a very, very poorly done like it's straight sawed at the back. It's like no contour, no nothing, just wrapped in electrical tape.
Ooh, Harry's is good.
All right, so in the chat we've got
Hoosiers.
Governor Smith & Wesson Sigma. Oh, that's a good one. That is Harry's got a black powder revolver. All right, there is a channel that I don't know if I'm subbed to them, but they pop up on my news feed every now and then. And it's a dude who is like running from authorities all over the place. He lives like down in the Caribbean somewhere at this point, but he's talking about weapons that you can have while you were a felon. And I shit you not, dude's got like black powder revolvers all over the place.
Because what, they're antiques, they're not weapons, are they?
Black powder revolvers are
firearms.
Yeah, you can have them mailed to your front door.
Sweet.
I've actually considered having one mailed to my front door. It's pretty awesome. Greg says, thank you for not stereotyping his Akimbo Shockwave into the creeper van, Red. So he appreciates that a lot. All right. Next up, I don't know where Builder went. He disappeared. Anyway, next up, we've got another 90s full-size Chevy van. This time, however, we've got the double doors on the side instead of the sliding door. We've got shag carpet and the starlights in the headliner. So you can lay out on the carpet, flick on the starlights, and enjoy the evening. What kind of gun does this guy have?
Ooh, I got one. This guy reminds me of Tommy Chong from that 70s show.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Right. So he's baked, but he's got some class, and he might be a little flamboyant. So he's got a Tiffany blue G42 with a laser.
Okay. All right, G42 with the laser. Reds, what you got, man?
Tiffany blue.
Tiffany blue.
we're talking about like the 70s love van kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
So that's a 38 Colt Detective Special with pearl handles in the glove box.
Okay.
That
Nickel plated.
Well, right.
Not
course
the chrome.
38 big special, pearl handles in the glove box.
I like where you're coming from. I like it. I was actually going to go Browning high power nickel plated pearl grips. So I mean, we got kind of the same theme going on. Apparently, mine is just slightly more classy than yours, which may be giving this person way too much credit.
I could also see a Beretta Cheetah. This guy having a Beretta Cheetah.
Yeah. All right. So from the chat, we got Reload Wraps with a Charter Arms Bulldog 44 Special. We got Builder, who is apparently in the chat instead of talking to us now. He's got a Knife Johnson 30. Oh, wait, no,
He's probably pooping.
Johnson 32 that smells a little like a skunk. That's also very specific. Harry's got and yes, Tommy Chong was a character before that 70s show. Good old Cheech and Chong. Let's see. Hoosier Hammer says a purple Ruger LCP. I have one of those in my safe. Shh, don't judge.
What are you talking about?
Harry's got a Mini 14 folder. Nice.
If it wasn't like the Love Van, I would definitely go for the Mini 14 folder. But like the Love Van vibe, that kind of takes you in a whole different direction.
It does. It really does. Builder, do you want to actually say yours, or did I do a good job reading it?
No, yeah, an Ivor Johnson top brick in 32 that smells a little bit like a skunk, i.e. marijuana.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, but don't they all though? That's my question.
Like
don't all Ivor Johnson smell a little bit like that?
Of the grips.
It's just that's how it smells now. Okay, next up we've got a Porsche Boxster.
Porsche Boxster?
A Porsche Boxster.
Oh, okay.
You spelled it wrong on the chat. You spelled it wrong on the notes.
Did I? I don't know. It's a Boxster, whatever. I know.
Once again, you have everybody else has show notes. I don't. Just letting everybody know.
Yeah, I didn't send the show notes to Red because I sent him a thing. Did you actually print them off, Manny?
Because I was at work and I printed them, and I wanted to have my computer's weird about sharing screens, so I wrote it down so I could actually have it. So
okay, so
hey, really quick,
this one.
Harry wants to know how old Manny is.
No, we'll just go on with the show. I'll tell Harry in the notes.
Go for it. All right, Builder, go for it.
So this person drives a Porsche Boxster. So they like really nice kind of things. So I'm going to say they were really looking at Zevs, or not Zevs, at agencies and salients.
Okay.
And they really wanted a Gucci Glock, so they bought a Zev OZ9.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's what they have.
That's not bad.
All right. Who's next?
I've got the answer. It's a CZ75B Omega nickel plated again. Because the thing is, if you drive a Boxster, you wish you were hipster or cool enough to drive a real Porsche, but that's all you can afford. You wish you were cool enough to have a Shadow 2, but all you could pick up was that Omega triggered 75 and nickel at the gun shop for cheap.
I'm going the same direction-ish, just with a different company. That's a good one, though. That is good. All right, Manny.
I went a little more spendy because he's driving a Porsche, so he's going to either have an Atlas Hyperion
No.
or an Athena.
Look up a Porsche Boxster and then try again.
Okay. So the
But
Porsche
he spelled it
Boxster,
wrong. He spelled it wrong again then. All right.
the Porsche Boxster is it's the Porsche that people drive when they can't actually afford a real Porsche.
It's the 3 Series BMW.
So I'm going to go with the H&K VP9.
Ooh.
Almost an H&K. It's the H&K you get when you really want an H&K, but you just can't really afford an H&K.
Man, I gave him way too much credit.
You did. Yeah, they're back in my car days, the Boxsters were not treated kindly in the internal monologues in car guys' heads. It did not go well. Okay, so from the chat, we've got Hoosier Hammer says a Walther PPK from their dad, but it's the Smith & Wesson one. It's not it's not the German made. Let's see. We've got Big Johnson says a man bun wearing sugar bitch with a CZ Rammy or sugar britches, not bitch. That sounds good too. With a CZ Rammy. That's yeah. Let's see. Jeremy says they drive the cheapest Porsche. So Ruger LCP or a Glock 34 if they actually feel like living. And Harry says, a Taurus G2C. Nice. All right. Our next vehicle here is a 55 Chevy shoebox. This particular one is going to be restored with some type of 350 blocked engine inside it. So it is updated, and it's a nice car. It's not like an old falling apart piece of 1950.
It's red.
Huh?
It's red.
It's red with the white inlay.
Oh, yes.
All right,
Okay.
so you're going to help me out here. 55 Chevy shoebox. Are you talking about one of the Tri-5 Chevys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 55, 56, 57.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to go first?
It has to be a not abused but well worn in a leather. I want to say shoulder holster, but I'm gonna say hip holster.
Okay.
Outside the waistband, Chief Special.
Hmm.
Well worn wood grips. The action's still tight, but there's definitely holster wear. She's been around for a minute.
Okay. All right. I like where you're going here.
All right. I'm close. I was thinking about a Colt Python. Just
Yep.
a little bit weird enough, just a little bit rare enough, just like a 55 that's been worked on, looks nice. It's in good shape. It's just a little bit off kilter from what you're normally going to see, but not so far out of the realm that you're going to be like, that's completely off the wall. So versus having a Smith revolver, they're the ones that wanted that Colt Python.
Okay. I like that too.
Mhm.
Manny, what you got?
I've got two options. I either have in a leather outside the waistband holster Smith & Wesson 686 in 6-inch, or he's got his granddad's old Tommy gun sitting in the passenger seat.
No Tommy gun.
Vibe.
I unfortunately do not know my revolver numbers at all, but I'm going to go with like about a 4-inch Smith & Wesson stainless steel. What is that? I don't even know.
It's a 5-something.
Sure. Okay.
Stainless is 6.
Yeah, 630
No,
something.
No,
Anyway,
686.
That's what I'm going to go with. Again, leather outside the waistband holster. I was thinking about going 1911 with it, but I feel like that's too modern for that particular guy.
No, you'd have to roll into something else. Like that's like the mid 60s, like Dodge cars, like the early Chargers. That's the 1911 guy.
You mean maybe like our next car, the 1965? What? Oh, we got to go over the chat, don't we?
I think
Mhm.
Big Johnson actually hit the nail on the head with it because
Let
the
me-
person that can restore a 55 Chevy probably has go screw yourself money.
and Ed Brown 1911.
Nah,
Yeah.
that'd be a less bear.
If that's true, Les Bear does consider themselves the hot rods of the 1911 world.
Hard chromed, and you can't freaking rack the thing when you get it.
Break the rear side off, racking it off a table.
Reload Rap says them Fudd wheels, 1911 Colt nickel plated. Hoosier Hammer says CZ Rammy safety model. I like how he specifies the safety model there. Them decockers aren't safe. Harry's also got a Cobra 4-inch or a Smith & Wesson Model 19. Jeremy's got a Ruger Red Hawk, and yeah. Oh, Harry's gone one and above. No holster. It's just in the glove box. I like it. All right. Next up is a 1965 Mustang. Let's go with a GT. Oh wait, did they have GTs in 65? I think
Yes.
they did. Let's just pretend they did.
65 had 289s.
All right. Oh, I love the 289s, the old school ones, not the newer ones. All right. So, what do you guys say?
Is it
I think
restored?
this is our 1911 guy.
Yeah, I had one picked out for this one, but it just doesn't feel right in my heart. So
What
I
was
need to think about it more. It was a high power, but I just need to think about
Oh, I mean, we were on the same vibe there, Builder.
it. It's definitely
Is it restored, original, resto mod? What are we talking here?
With this one, let's go all original, 2-owner, but it was his dad's car. So he got it as a hand-me-down, garage kept, beautifully immaculate. Nothing's been restored, but it's in good condition, original.
Okay. 60s vintage Remington 700 in 308. Original wood furniture. A really old beat up Bushnell stock. Not even in the car. It's in the closet at home.
Well, yeah, where's he gonna put it in the fucking?
That to 30-06. That just feels a little more.
Yeah, that might be a good modification to that. I'm gonna say an older GI issue 1911, actual Colt, kept in good condition, still running, like one of the GI take or the whatever that I can never remember what that program is called, where they give actual service guns to citizens, and in good shape, not a rattle box where you shake it and it rattles. Still in good shape, worn finished leather holster outside the waistband, and kept very good care of. Manny, have you gone yet?
I was gonna go with the Browning high power on that one.
Okay,
An original high power.
what finish? Some blued.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're blued or parkerized. I couldn't remember.
Blue.
Is it blued? Yep. And the finishes were rubbing off on the front from all the holster wear. But those itty
The
bitty
high
sights.
actually had really good bluing though. All right.
I like Hoosier Hammer's answer.
So from the chat, we've got let's see. Reload Rap says 1911 in 30 carbine. Big Johnson's got a 1911 Colt for the bullet. Oh yeah, Steve McQueen. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, but
Steve McQueen carried a Colt Diamondback snub-nose revolver. Hoosier Hammer has got a Colt Delta Elite 10 millimeter. Only 2 mags fired through it by his dad, kept under the seat in a zipped case. That is really good.
I have my answer.
That's really good.
My answer is a Colt Commander.
Okay.
Series 80 in 45 ACP. Stainless finish. And that would be in a zipper case in the glove box, yes. Hammered down.
I like the zipper case. One in the chamber or not?
Oh, no. It's dangerous.
Honestly, I would almost say yes, one in the chamber, but hammer down. It's a Series 80. It's safe.
And just to correct the folks in the chat, he said a 65 GT, which would be a notch. The bullet car was a 68 fastback.
Yeah.
Completely different car.
It is
just for reference.
I think I rubbed him the wrong way.
Before I was the gun guy.
So Harry's got a then a Kimber. All right, in God's caliber. Yeah, well, of course. I mean, all of these are in God's caliber. I wouldn't expect a dude who drove a 65 Mustang GT to get a 9mm 1911. If he was going to get a 9mm, it would be, especially with, keeping the GT with the original engine, he'd get a Browning high power.
Or he'd get a 1911 and 38 Super.
Ooh, yeah. Mm.
Big and loud and American, but still fast.
All right, so our next car that we're going to match to is a 1990 Pontiac Sunspot. This is the predecessor to the Sunfire. Now let me expand on this slightly. Color is red. Passenger side window gone. Trash bag over the passenger side window.
Oh man, that just changed everything.
Hubcap on the back right, missing.
I thought the Sunspot was a typo.
Left. Huh?
Wasn't Sunspot a typo?
No, it was the Sunbird. Sunbird. No, it's the Sunbird.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
This is the predecessor to the Sunfire. It's a Sunbird. All right.
Moxie convertible, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now that Builder, what was yours going to be?
John Jeffries.
Mine was going to be a somewhat blanket statement. I was anticipating a little bit nicer car still, and I was going to say a blanket statement of something Ruger, a reliable firearm at a budget price.
That's a good option for a good shape, good condition.
Yes, like
Sunbird.
the LC9, Security 9 kind of thing.
All right. Now, have you figured out one for this yet?
A freaking slingshot.
We're falling back into this person probably can't own a gun again, aren't we?
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right, Manny, what you got? Got anything?
Yeah, I've got either the Taurus G2C or
It's too
a
new.
Sigma.
There we go.
Yep. All right. Red?
You never know.
I got 2 words for you, brother.
Yep.
Tech 9.
I mean, the more you
So
think
it's too bad Red Sox
Ah.
had to leave us for tonight.
Yes, I'm not alone. No, I want to be back over there.
Tech 9, you son of a bitch.
So to answer that more correctly, that particular car, assuming this person can own a firearm, I'm going to go along the lines of Sigma, but go with the modern day Sigma, and say the a base model Tanfoglio.
Ooh, okay. All right. So, unfortunately, mine got taken by the chat.
Mine got taken too. I had to come up with another one on the fly.
It was the very first one, too. The Phoenix Arms 22 long rifle. So instead, I'm going to toss in a Jimenez.
It's
But
in
it's in the chat already too.
and that was going to be mine. Originally, mine
that is. That's the third
John Murphy's like wrote it in the chat, and I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, that's like it's got to be a total throwaway gun that they got from a buddy 2 houses down. The Phoenix Arms one,
Phoenix
missing the long barrel, only got the short barrel.
Phoenix 25.
What a 25? The Jimenez in a 25?
No, the Phoenix. They make it in 25.
Did they really?
Yeah.
They actually, you know what? Honestly, those Phoenixes, they may be junk, but I would own one in a 25. I'm not going to lie. I would do it.
After I got about 3,000 rounds through the Phoenix that I had, it ran like a freaking top. You just never cleaned it, and then the
3,000 rounds break in.
Huh?
It just took 3,000 rounds to break it in.
Whatever.
So
Took it to a gunsmith to get something fixed on it,
There
and
we
then
go.
the safeties all broke, and it worked out even better because then the safeties didn't work.
So, Reload Rap says a Llama 380 and an Uncle Mike's holster. John Jeffries has that Jimenez we were talking about. Let's see here. Jeremy Bryan says a car K9, broken grip panels. Oh man, I missed a lot of stuff. I went back too far. In the
That could be, they bought the car when they got a tax return
past. Right.
because the K9s are expensive.
Big Johnson says that's right up there with the Pontiac Aztec. The Aztec can actually, if it weren't so god awful ugly,
Stop it.
it's not a bad car.
Stop it.
Actually, it is.
It is.
The AC condenser problem, right?
If you
Of all the things, though, at least it
market your
ran.
car as
No,
being able
problem.
to have
The AC
a tent
condenser-
come out the back of it, then you need to market something else.
No. See, the problem with those things, they actually put the AC condenser sat above the ECU,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
if
good.
you ran it too long idle, it would
Yeah.
drip onto the ECU and short the whole thing out and kill the car.
Awesome. That is too
So
awesome.
Aztecs don't run. They got problems. Like, they're not a good car.
So, Hoosier Hammer's got a Springfield XD subcompact in 40, bought from his brother-in-law, who is a Marine, only shot one round once. No holster, Mexican carry, or trunk.
Specific.
Guys, can I just say I love how specific this is getting? Big Johnson's got an SD9 VE. And Harry says, and they think it's a Glock. This is my Glock 40. And he sits a high point on there.
It's my problem solver.
With my extendo clipazine.
All right. So next up, we've got a 2015 Mustang GT. What does she carry on her?
Whoa. My
So
coworker
first off,
drives one
I
of
own
these.
2015 Mustang GT.
This one was hard. Like, I've been thinking about this one for an hour and a half, and I can't nail down a good one for this.
I've got
Okay.
one for it.
I've got to throw away.
Go for it, Reds.
AMT long slide hardballer in 45.
Gosh. Okay.
That
I'd
one,
rather have that than a Mustang.
if it's a she, mind you, I owned a 15 GT and I raced it. But if it's a she, then
What if it's a he?
if it's a he, then it's an AR. It's an M4 variant AR in the trunk.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I try to like replicate like the military's M4
Uh-huh.
in the trunk.
With an EOTech, yes.
Yes.
Of course.
With an EOTech with the IR laser mount on it and all that good stuff. Oh yeah.
Okay, but does it have the flare launcher to look like a grenade launcher? No flare launcher, just the gun. Okay.
M4, like M4. So we're talking about shortened, vertical foregrip with the funky bipod that comes out of the front, like all that cool, like mid 2000s tactical stuff.
All the Wish tactical stuff. All right, Mandy, did you have one?
Yep.
We haven't gotten to you yet, right?
Yeah. This one I think is a Roland special, paid with Daddy's money.
Okay. I had one and then it went away.
Fit.
Builder, you got it on?
I did, and then Red made me giggle, and I forgot what it was.
That's exactly what happened to me. I'm going to go with a Ruger. This tells you how much respect I have for Mustangs. A Ruger LC9S in the glove box, no holster, nothing in the pipe.
I remembered what mine was.
Okay, what was it?
Mine was an M&P Compact 2.0 9mm.
That's also good.
Strong side carry.
What's the performance
inside or outside the waistband?
Nope. Not the Performance Center model, and 100% factory.
Well, of course, but it's the fastest gun ever.
Huh?
But it's the fastest gun ever. Oh, Mustang guys. The question is,
I'm a Mustang guy, right?
Huh?
You really? I've owned like 4 of them.
Oh, I know.
I used to race them.
I know, and I used to beat Mustangs in a Grand Prix. Those poor Mustangs. I'll tell you about it later. I'll send you a screenshot and a picture and you'll understand why. Anyway, so from the chat, we've got Harry's got a Taurus or a Ruger. John Jeffrey's got a Kimber with a Crimson Trace. Hoosier Hammer has a stock Glock 26 stored in the middle compartment, sometimes borrowed by her boyfriend who can't legally buy his own gun. That's very specific again. Big Johnson's got a Maverick 88 with 100 jars of moonshine in the trunk. Reload rack. She was, she was steered towards a Beretta Pico in teal. Is it Pico or Pico?
It's Pico.
Okay, I thought so, but I'm on a roll of mispronunciation tonight, so.
Harry, the trunk is actually surprisingly big in those Mustangs, like surprisingly big.
They are, unless you get a convertible.
I could actually get hard top, man.
Those don't count. Then it would definitely be driven by a woman. No racer in their right mind is going to buy a convertible.
Overweight, less rigidity. It's a bad deal.
Right. Not unless you want a whole lot of this. Let's see. Jeremy Bryan says a SIG 226 Legion in the glove box. And looks like that's all we got for this one, huh?
In 40.
In 40, right.
Yep.
Of course.
And they have the Legion coin on, glued to the dash or placed on the steering wheel somewhere.
With SIG stickers all over.
Yep.
All right. And our last one for the night, a 2017 Dodge Viper ACR.
This is very specific.
It is very specific.
A very specific answer for this one, but I'm not going first.
I have an answer.
Builder, isn't a Dodge Viper like one of your top cars?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
This was my car when I played Need for Speed.
Yeah. If you say something bad about it, I will get down on my knees and punch you in the throat.
What's the MSRP on these things?
The ACR is quite a bit, but the ACR could actually, for the particular year, it would outrun every vet.
Okay. All right.
The ACR can actually turn.
It's a badass car.
Well, the ACRs are set up for road race, man. Those things were awesome. Yeah. They actually generated legit downforce and had a really good weight balance to them.
Yeah, they can turn.
They still wanted to kill you, which was part of the joy of a Viper. But anyway, my answer to that is real simple. FN Scar and 308, and it's seat belted in the passenger seat.
That's awesome. Yep. All right. Manny, what you got?
I've got something a little bit different. I've got an Infinity 2011 open gun in 38 Super Comp.
Okay.
I was actually going to go Infinity, but then I switched.
See, Harry agrees with me.
Yep.
So the Viper that I am thinking of is
Is it green?
white. No, it's white. Like, you could almost argue that it's Arctic white, with black accents on it. And if you fold down the passenger seat, which I'm assuming you can do, even though you can't really do, I don't think, and you reach there and you're going to pick up a Select Fire Chris Vector with a can on it in 10 millimeter.
Is the Chris Vector also white?
Yes, Arctic white. It matches the car.
I like it. That actually, yeah, I like that one. So I'm going to go with the Staccato XC on that. Their carry comp version with a dot on it. Because if you're going to own a fast car, you got to own a fast gun. That's all I got. All right. And that is it for whatever the hell we're going to call that game. We'll play it again sometime, just not next week.
Beep, beep, boom, boom.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Beep, beep, boom, boom.
Beep, beep, boom, boom. Oh, I totally forgot to go over to the chat to see what they said people drove on that car. All right. So we've got a... Oh, I like some of these answers. Big Johnson's got an FK Burnett. John Jeffries has a Desert Eagle in Tiger Gold. Jeremy Bryan says an FN57. We got a Gucci Glock Infinity from Harry's Holsters. Yeah, that's all pretty much. If that person's going to have that car, they're going to have enough money to buy basically any gun they want to buy. Because those cars are not cheap and they are completely impractical. But damn, they're fast.
They're practical until you hit a speed bump.
I've seen them take off that front lip on speed bumps or on a driveway entrance.
What was that movie where Eddie Murphy, the Nutty Professor, where he's skinny Eddie Murphy and then he turns back into fat Eddie Murphy and he's driving that Viper?
Dragging to one side.
Yes.
My only pet peeve with Vipers is you have to be very careful about exhaust, because if you put the wrong exhaust on those, they sound like just pissed off weed whackers. Like, they're a little bit throatier, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Huh?
V10s are picky with that kind of stuff.
They are.
My wife's uncle has a first generation Viper that I'm going to attempt to drive in December. So,
ooh,
yeah, I might die. I might not.
It was good knowing you.
Yeah.
I called.
Just remember that if I do die, it will be behind the wheel of a Viper. So
that's true. At this point in the last 10 years, you've driven more cool cars than I have.
And I'll be squealing. I've driven one cool car.
Yeah, that's more cool cars than I've driven in the past 10 years.
It was fast.
Before that, I drove a lot, but
Challenger Hellcat, baby.
Yeah. No, so Reds, I'll let you know a little. So I had an 04 Grand Prix, but it was turboed, pushing like about 18 pounds of boost at the time.
To the front wheels, gross.
Yeah, it was. Oh no, it torque steered like a son of a bitch. It didn't have crap for traction, but it was when you got up to about 30 or so, and you let out of it a little bit. Yeah, it was a fun car, but yeah, completely impractical.
Yeah, well, when I raced, I was road racing. So first off, I shouldn't say never. That was me in my youth a long time ago. I did like street drag stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did do some like amateur like drag race stuff, but the stuff I did where it really mattered was all road racing. So I don't really
drag stuff. Right?
Time I sort of shrug. I don't care.
Yeah,
it was all about like what kind of laps can you lay down. So
hold on, we're
a good car for that.
Important information here.
Yes.
I couldn't hear you.
Worked on the Viper ACR.
Oh, I did see that.
Yes. You are my hero.
That's pretty badass. We need pictures, Big Johnson.
I believe him.
Oh no, I believe him. I don't doubt him. I just want the pictures. Anyway, so let's get back to a couple more questions and we'll call it a night. Next question up, let's go to a question from Many Things. And his first question is, which would you add to be legal in carry optics or production? If you could only choose one, carry magwells, so like a size restriction on the magwells, or magnets legal as mag retention devices. So which one of those two would you pick as legal in carry optics or production? Mine actually would. No, you know what? I'm just going to go magnets on both of them because I think the magwell pulls you out of what those two things are supposed to be. What do you think?
If we're talking about like just, we're going to throw that out there, you're going to pick one or the other. The magnets are really useful for unloaded start stages or like barrel starts because you can slap one of your mags to the magnet. That's super, super convenient. But if we're talking about in general with reloads in general, I'd actually go for a carry magwell, even if it was smaller, because I've seen the advantage at this point that a magwell can have, even if it's a slightly smaller one. It definitely can make reloads a little bit better. But again, I don't think either should be in the division as a whole or either division. But if I was going to pick one of the two, I'd say carry magwells.
Yeah, I think the carry magwell is a better. I think that's a bigger bonus to have on it, but that's also why I'm going with the magnet. Anyway, Builder, Manny, what do you guys think?
So I view, I don't view USPSA like you guys do, and I view it as a good way to train with my gun because I'm not a competitive person. Like I'm so not competitive. Competitive people get mad at me. Example one, the guy to my left. But for me, I would do the carry magwell for no other reason than I carry that gun. So if I run a carry magwell on my gun, it would be nice to be able to compete with the carry magwell. So that's
right. Manny?
I kind of like both. I was thinking like, if I had to pick one, no. Well, I do like the thing with having the carry magwell. There's a lot of guys out there, the tac Timmies, who are getting into competition and they're getting into carry optics. They already have the carry magwells on their gun, so it'd just be easy to make it into the rules. But I kind of like magnets. Kind of the fact of you could just depends on where you could have the magnet. I would love a magnet on my front, but that's not in production or carry optics legal at the moment. But that'd be cool. I like them both, but for different reasons. So I'm kind of split still.
That's fair. All right. Next question is from, we're going to go ahead and get to this one because he's in the chat. This is from Hoosier Hammer. So, places that are currently price gouging, is it simply supply and demand, or should they be ashamed of themselves? What do you guys think?
I think there's a lot of local stores that are still not price gouging, at least around us. And that even up, I got a buddy up in Fort Wayne that just picked up a Glock 19, and he paid the same for it as I paid for my 17 and my 45, which are the same class of Glock, whatever, 4 months ago. So that was nice that they're not price gouging because he's like, I checked online and they were $100 more online. So I don't know. I think it's stupid, but also would I probably do it if I had the stuff? Probably, because I'm a terrible person too.
All right. Manny, Reds, what do you guys think?
Actually, I had a friend was like, do you have any? He asked me if I had ammo, and I'm like, not for you. But he's like, he had to go buy. He went to a gun shop, and they charged their normal 9mm off the shelf box price was $13.99. They bumped it up to $18.99 a box, and you can only buy 100 rounds of any handgun ammo. So they were stuck to 100 rounds for like $18.99 a box. I've been looking at gun prices just because I haven't really been in the market. So, but yeah, I've seen ammo fluctuate up here, and cheaper than dirt is never cheaper than dirt. They will price gouge you whenever they have the opportunity, and they're the devil.
Their ammo is already 2 times what you can get it for basically anywhere else. Reds?
So if it's price gouging or what, I don't know. I mean, part of it is market. A company known for not selling ammunition that does a lot of machining, and I'll leave it at that, is buying ammunition and selling it to people. And I was kind of excited about that concept until I went and looked at the price and realized that it is more than double what it was market a little while ago. And it's one thing to go up 30, 40%, 50% because of margin or demand, but double feels like it was a little bit much. And I kind of got a little soured on that one.
You can say the name if you want. I know who it is.
I don't. Okay. Interested.
CNH Precision.
CNH.
They bought a bunch of stuff. They were selling 124 grain Federal for 42.5 cents a round.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're buying it in 1,000 rounds at a pop. And I was just like, that's insane. So I'm not super happy about that, but here's the thing. This is why I'm okay with it from the standpoint of looking at it from an economic standpoint. I don't have to buy it, and I'm not going to buy it. So me, I look at it and go, cool, they priced me out of buying it from them. Somebody else may want it. And if they buy it at that price, good on them. And CNH is doing what they can to stay in business or do business. So I don't really get too bent out of shape when people jack up prices, but I know that hurts some people's opinions. Like, I don't shop cheaper than dirt for exactly that reason, because every time something has happened, either an election or Sandy Hook or whatever, you watch them instantaneously gouge everybody.
Yep.
That they're gouging people now is not surprising to me. And again, it's why I don't generally buy from them.
So for me, it depends on at what point, like at what level they're in, because places like Cheaper Than Dirt, when ammo companies get their loads of ammo done, the first place they send those is out to places like Cheaper Than Dirt, the large distribution warehouses, and very little is actually kind of funneling down to the little guys like our local gun stores. So places like Cheaper Than Dirt are getting it for not what they were getting it at before, because the ammo companies are going to increase the price, but closer. Okay, so I mean, places like Cheaper Than Dirt, 17, 20 bucks a box. It's pushing it, but okay. $40 a box, which is what they're asking right now, is insane. However, local gun stores, we've got a local place here who he's been getting a steady flow of 9mm, and it's priced at about $17 to $18 for a box. And I talked to him about that, and he said, yeah, this is like, that's the reason that it's that much is because I am paying $12 a box for that box of ammo. He's like, I've got to hold my margins. I got to make money on it. I'm making the exact same like dollar amount. So I'm actually making less of a percentage than I was making before to get this to you guys. It's more important to him to get the ammo in, keep the flow of customers, and take that little bit of a hit, but just make sure he gets that ammo in than to try to, triple the price or just not have ammo at all, which is what some of the places are doing. Some of the places who are like the ammo companies are asking them to pay $10 to $12 a box. They're like, all right, I'm not buying. So it's at the low level, it's 100% supply and demand. They're just trying to get you the stuff that you want. At a high level, it's greed.
Mm-hmm.
And places like Cheaper Than Dirt, I haven't shopped at Cheaper Than Dirt since 2012 because of what they did when Sandy Hook went down.
Damn it! I put my primers away.
I'm working on it. Okay, Red, I'm working on it.
But have any of you watched Pop's Quest's video about Federal actually selling through themselves instead of going through distributors now?
No, but that's their ammo.
Yeah, they've really been, instead of pushing it out, they've been trying to sell it on their own website for decent prices. You can actually buy Syntech off their website still.
Ooh.
You shouldn't have said that because they're not going to have any left in about 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, Pop's video was like 2 days ago. I'm like, so it's gone. It's gone.
I friggin' love Syntech stuff. Like that Syntech ammo. If I weren't getting into reloading, I would seriously considering running just that as my competition ammo.
My only argument against that is that I run the Syntech. I use the 150s. My Glocks love this stuff. Cycles really well. I run a 15-pound spring. It's like super ideal, super consistent ammo. When I tried running it out of my Shadow 2, hated it. Wouldn't group with the damn cycle funny. The Walther, same thing. It doesn't like feeding it, and it doesn't group well.
You definitely have to test it out. I mean, but they've got a lot of different flavors of that stuff too. They got 124, they got 130, they got the 150. I don't think they have a 115, do they? I think it's just the 124, 130, and 150.
Isn't the 130 for PCCs though?
Yes. Yeah, but I don't know what that might be a lighter charge. Just got the extra barrel length to be able to fully burn whatever you do stuff in it. But yeah, I don't know, but I definitely tested out. We tried out some and don't ever test it out when you're doing the review of a gun. Never test an ammo out for the first time when you're doing that. It makes the gun look really bad. I did that for the TAC Ultra with some 147s. Every third round keyhold. Like, it was insane. And the TAC Ultra it's a badass gun. It's a TAC driver. It just didn't like that ammo. So, Red, I'm gonna have to hit you up about reloading stuff later, though. So, you and I are gonna talk because I'm new. Like,
I don't know crap about reloading, bro. I'm the wrong person to ask.
oh crap!
Go to
The only
Humble.
reason- you know
Go to
why?
Pop's Quest.
I've got a reloader here in town.
Yeah.
That does really good work. And the thing is, he can't get primers. He's got powder. He manufactures his own bullets. He does his own coding. He does his own loading. He's got plenty of brass, but he doesn't have any primers. So the thing is, if you want to make ammo, you got to bring in primers.
So there you sit with another issue with the whole ammo thing. Is primers are at such a high demand right now that the companies that do make primers are using them on their own ammo. Like, so all of your small little reloader ammo companies, Midwest Ammo, which is the one that I use, they can't get primers. Like, they just can't get them. And they're like a decent operation. They've got machines and all that good stuff. It's an automated reloading place, and they can't get them. So,
well, and like I bought these off of Powder Valley because some of the guys in my local group paid attention to that stuff, and they're like, "Hey, there's primers in stock. Go get them right now." Everybody in our little chat group just ran off and snagged a bunch of primers.
yeah.
They have good prices most of the time on Powder Valley.
Yeah, the prices were decent. They weren't bad, and frankly, to keep me in practice ammo in the meantime, it's worth it. By the way, I did check Syntec; they're out of stock on their website.
Damn it!
I wasn't kidding, bro. If there was stuff on their website, I'd have bought it while we were in mid chat.
Yeah. Yeah, pull your credit card out. They do what? They've just released their training line. Like Federal had like some training line of ammo they've just released, I think, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
The purple stuff.
Yeah, I think
Oh
I should.
yeah, 124s. They got American Eagle 124. I might buy those.
Those are good rounds. Those things are awesome.
My Walther really likes those.
Yeah, how's that going?
Project Fat Boy, it's heavy.
Yeah.
I got to get it sighted in with that new dot, but I think it'll be good.
Approximately
I still got more weight to add to it.
Now, what are you still waiting on? The guide rod or?
Well, there's again, I can't say through who, but there's a chance I'm able to get a custom built guide rod, which two things would be awesome about it. One, it would be uncaptured, so I could actually tweak the spring rates.
Well, that'd be nice.
But then I can get it custom length, so I can actually run it like right up to the weight limit of the 59 ounce. Because right now I'm 3 7/8 ounces shy of the limit, so I can easily get that out of a good full tungsten guide rod.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be able to like pick that gun up to shoot it?
I'm taking the Viking approach and just grow stronger.
It's a good thing stages are like under 2 minutes.
No, he's gonna go play tactical games with it. It's all day.
Honestly, I will tell you one thing. It's heavy enough that mind you, I'm shooting carry optics, so I actually have a fully enclosed holster.
Uh-huh.
Even in the fully enclosed holster with a boss hanger, I actually put another belt keeper right around my belt, right at where the holster is, because it's so heavy, it actually pulls it off the Velcro of the inner belt. Like, no joke.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Stupidly heavy.
Might be time for one of those ratcheting belts then.
Okay, so with how heavy that is, does it blow your mind that they upped the weight limit to that?
It blew my mind when I saw the weight limit. I'm like, 59 ounces. Like, what? Your guys are limited guns that aren't that heavy. And
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hit another question by Hoosier Hammer. He says, this is related also to the price gouging question. It says, why doesn't the community, and he put quotations, not me, the community ever turn its back on really egregious, like cheaper than dirt? So why doesn't the community kind of shun these places for the final time and just either get them to stop or get rid of them? I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to say it's because
still buy from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the gun community is not actually a community. We think it's a community. We think it's this big cohesive mass of people who agree on a thing. But I tell you, it is the least organized group of enthusiasts that are out there. Like, you can't get gun guys to agree on anything, whether it's to, take a dump on Springfield Armory's front porch or to stop buying from Cheaper Than Dirt. It's such a non-cohesive group of people who, with so much infighting and so much arguments, that a lot of them will argue with you just because you said don't buy cheaper from dirt. Don't buy from Cheaper Than Dirt. Not because they don't want to buy from them or because they think that they're like an honest company, but just because you said it, they're going to argue with it. It's like people who argue about TFX Pros. They're shit sites, guys. They're shit.
I just want to add on the TFX Pros, and I had the Trugo, the TFOs.
Yeah,
those are also trash.
They are.
Yeah.
I don't know why people argue about this with me. The last guy who argued it with me was like, I bet this guy doesn't even have combat experience. And I'm like, first of all, I never claimed to have combat experience. And secondly, if that's your litmus test, I know some people with combat experience who couldn't shoot a handgun to save their lives. Literally, like it would not be good. Like, I don't understand why that is such a high, like, value of praise for handgun shooting. Now, rifle shooting, okay, like I'll give you that. They've shot rifles more than I have. They know way more about it than I have. I've shot a lot of rounds through a handgun, and I'm not even up there with like you, Red, like, or Builder even. Builder's got way more rounds through a handgun than I have. He's just
Probably
spaced
not.
out. No, you do. A lifetime, you do. Not maybe in the last year and a half, but lifetime.
Good Lord,
Okay.
lifetime is a scary number.
That's because you're old, Red.
Well, I started shooting when I was 6.
Jeez, man. I've been seriously shooting for 9 years, maybe, I think. So, well, no, I've only been seriously shooting for 3. I've had guns for 9. So,
I started shooting when I was 6. I'm 40 now. So I've been shooting for 34 years, and I have shot everything from plinking at the range 22s up to 50 BMGs to full auto stuff to trap and skeet competitively to bullseye competitively. Like, I've sort of run the gamut when it comes to shooting.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you had to talk about lifetime round shot, I don't even want to think about what that number is. It's I would literally, I think I'm actually probably going to clear the million round mark.
Yeah. And Harry just brought up a very good, not just, but about the Cheaper Than Dirt thing. Their sales mainly SEO for search terms. That's who ends up going to places like that. And you can't, as I said, the community is so sparse and so varied that the guys who are Google searching just random key terms are not going to be the ones talking to their buddies about what place ripped somebody off on ammo.
Yep.
Gentlemen, I am fading fast, so I am going to go to bed.
All right, man. We'll catch you later. Thanks, Builder, for hanging out.
Thank you.
We're gonna head off here soon too, but
Great.
good night, man.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Ooh, sweet. Now I'm next to you.
Aw.
To me.
Let's touch hands.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. They're so small. Actually, dude, that whole thing you've been doing with the small hands.
So creepy.
That's so creepy. Like, that's freaking creepy.
It's okay for one video, but when you start doing it with all of them,
At first, like, I wasn't looking that hard out on my Instagram thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, like the little tiny hand. I'm like, oh, bro, come on.
$10 I've ever spent on a gag ever.
was it only 2 of them for $10, or did you get like a whole like?
Oh no,
handful?
I got 10 of them for $10. Technically, I could do hands of hands, but my children stole 2 pairs, so
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah. Now here's the real good question for the evening.
All right, go for it.
If you could only eat one fast food place for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Would it have any effect on my digestion?
What?
Would it have any effect on my digestion? This matters.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, Carl Jr.
Oh, okay. We don't have any of those. We have what's the other name for
We
it?
don't have anything cool here.
Yeah, we have Hardee's up here.
We do have Hardee's. Hardee's is mediocre up here at best.
So where I grew up, like Southern California, Nevada, that kind of thing, like Carl's Jr. was always really good stuff. My favorite thing ever was the double Western bacon cheeseburger. Holy balls. Problem is, if I have one of those, like I need a bathroom within 2 hours of me. And I wish there were handlebars in between because that stuff fuels me. I can't eat it anymore.
Who's your handle for Sonic? I didn't even think of them.
I do like Hardee's little baby like shoestringy fries. Those are pretty good.
Let me ask you this. Does Steak and Shake count?
They have a drive-through, so I guess you could call it fast food.
I'm going to go. I actually worked at Steak and Shake for 6 years, and their food is, when made correctly, is fantastic.
Except the spaghetti with like chili on it. I still don't.
Chili
get that.
Max, dude, those things are awesome. Freaking
Now,
love those.
Mine would be Culver's.
Actually, that's a 3-way and a 5-way. The Chili Mac doesn't have the chili on it. It's got the chili sauce and the chili meat in it. Anyway, yours is Culver's?
I would go to Culver's, and I would be getting cheese curds every day.
Their cheese curds are good.
They're so good.
And they have good milk bakes, too.
Mm-hmm. But you don't get any sauce with the cheese curds. Just get the cheese curds and eat them because they're that good. They don't need no damn sauce.
Where was it? Who's got the I think it's Burger King has like fried mac and cheese balls. Yeah,
they probably do
better
that.
than you might think.
Salmonella on a bun, yum.
All right. Well, what?
Sonic, you go for the slushes and for the shakes. Don't order anything else; it'll kill you.
Ooh,
Literally
no.
or figuratively?
Their tater tots are good though.
They do have good tots.
I don't trust food from Sonic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we've got a really good. We've got a Budgies here. It's a local owned like walk up place, and it's pretty damn good.
Ooh, you're right. A&W is good. We only have one like that's 45 minutes away.
So our A&W is attached to a Long John Silver's.
Oh.
And I went there about a year ago because I have in my brain space up here fond memories of what Long John Silver's was. I'm an adult now, and I've had like real food.
Yeah, that was prefaced appropriately. Like, yeah, I had fond memories up here, and then I went, and then
yeah, it ruined it for me. My children didn't even like it.
Wow.
And so like now it's ruined. It's ruined for me.
I would say Popeye's chicken is like my number 2 though.
We don't have one of those within an hour of us.
I feel sorry for you, sir. You need to drive and go get Popeyes once a week.
We used to have one about 50 miles from us, but then it closed. It was right on 65 too, like our major highway or interstate. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Indiana's weird. We can't maintain decent things. It's literally why we can't have nice things.
Isn't Indiana the same state that legally changed pi to 3?
No. That is incorrect, sir.
Pretty sure that happened.
All right, I'm Googling it now because if we did, I'm moving.
Well, you're also the same state that's really proud of the fact that you started and then ended a eugenics program in the early 1900s. That's a whole other thing.
Nobody is actually proud of that.
Dude, you have monuments in the Capitol to it.
No, but nobody is actually proud of that.
I need Taylor freelance base pads. Work. I need a discount code.
No, it wasn't 3. It was 3.2. You a-hole.
Oh, sorry, 3.2.
They legally made
awesome.
Pi
Okay,
3.2.
To be fair, that was in 1897. So
it was a step up in the early 1900s when they went to the eugenics program.
Exactly, yeah. Come on now.
Do you have a white Popeyes?
I'm guessing that's Chick-fil-A.
No, that's Jesus Chicken. Jesus Chicken. Were you waiting
And
for
white Popeyes?
White Popeyes? I don't know. Isn't that like called crappy KFC? Because KFC is garbage.
Oh, KFC. You're eating the wrong thing. What are you eating at KFC?
Ooh, let's see. There's either the pot pie, the chicken tenders. Sometimes I get white and dark meat. I don't. Depends.
No, dude. Chicken Littles, mac and cheese, and tater wedges.
See, with the
Limit.
$5 box, like I'll get the strips and I get the.
That's the problem. You're getting the $5 box.
No, listen, but I'd spend like $20 on myself. It was ridiculous. So you get the box with the cookie and the mashed potatoes and the drink. You would get then potato wedges as well and mac and cheese. And you don't get any sauce because you dunk your chicken tenders and mashed potatoes.
You lost me there. You lost me with that one.
It's so good though.
Nate, you're skirting a very thin line there, my friend. Very thin.
KFC has French fries. What?
Yeah,
what is this blasphemy?
I don't want KFC French fries. I want tater wedges.
Smothered in ketchup.
Okay, well, since we've been talking about fast food instead of guns for the last 10 minutes, let's go ahead and shut this shindig down because I'm getting tired and it is almost 11:30 at night.
Only 10:20.
It's what?
Only 10:20.
Yeah. It's late. So, with that, let me get the right music here. There we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, one last time for joining us for the Work After Hours live chat. Once again, I want to remind you guys this is the last week that we're going to be on the main channel. Next week, we're going to be over and Work the Trigger Overtime. There's a link in the description down below this video to that channel. Head over there, subscribe, because that's where we're going to be next week. Thank you again. With us this week, one last time, we had Manny Things. Manny, where can they find you?
They can find me right here on YouTube and on Instagram as Manny Things. I post 2 videos a week, one on Tuesdays, one on Fridays. If you want to see the guns, it's on Tuesdays, and Friday's my miscellaneous day. So get out and watch it. Tell your friends. Tell the wizards you want to watch my video by hitting that stupid bell, and I'll see you right here next Thursday as well.
All right, and down below that, we've got Red's Dots. Red, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and on YouTube at Red's Dot. I've got a weekly video series going right now called Red's Roads to Nationals, where I'm talking about all kinds of things that I deal with when I go do the shooting. You might want to check out last week's video. It's pretty funny. Bad advice on the range. But come by, subscribe, come find me on Instagram, tell me silly things there.
All right, and you can find me here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /WorkTheTrigger. We put out videos every Friday, all gun content. Now we've got our new channel, Work the Trigger Overtime, with live chats, and all of our installation stuff is going to be over there now. Thanks one last time, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
See y'all.